Storyboard today, in conversation with Starcom Mediavest Group's Global CEO, Laura Desmond. Welcome back, you're watching Storyboard. Starcom Mediavest Group's Global CEO, Laura Desmond, recently visited India after 5 years. She spoke with Storyboard's editor, Anant Rangaswami, on how the media landscape in the country has changed since her last visit, the future of digital, and whether clients are keeping pace with this change. Listen in.
Laura, welcome to India again. And the last time I saw you was 5 years ago. And how have things changed in media terms in these 5 years?
Oh, it's been a sea change, huge change in India. I was with my team this morning reviewing some of the best digital work that they had done in search and in social. And if I had closed my eyes and been not knowing that I was in India and imagined myself anywhere else in the world, I could have imagined that. The work that I saw this morning, which was data-led and digitally led, was world-class. And I think back 5 years ago when I first came to India, everyone telling me, no, you know, that's not this market. It's still very traditional, TV-based, newspaper-based, out-of-home-based. You know, we're not going to reach strong digital penetrations anytime soon. Based on the changes I've seen and based on the work that I've seen, not true at all. I think there's some world-class digital work going on in India, and it's starting to lead in spaces like search, a little bit in mobile, and I think it will continue to lead for some time to come.
Right. You know, you brought it up, the fact that India is still very heavy on print and TV. So is this digital-first kind of strategy something which really doesn't fit the India that you've been living in today?
I think that you have to look at it from a standpoint of audiences and generations. I think that there are absolutely a strong number of segments and groups in the market today in India which are always going to be print-led, or radio will be their #1 channel of choice, or out of home. And that's going to be the case. Sometimes life habits that are started when you're young, you stick with throughout the course of your life. But there's no doubt that the younger generations of this market, millennial, teens, young adults, are looking at their mobile as their first screen, not their last screen. They're looking at digital as a way to get connected to their friends, both locally as well as globally. And they are used to doing things, so we might say, in the cloud. They're used to being able to get information with one click or a touch of a button. And this isn't going to change. Habits don't reverse. And so while I totally respect that there are some segments of India's population that are very traditionally focused, the reality is the future is very digitally focused. And you can begin to see that with how client campaigns are targeting youth and young adults almost with 100% digital budgets now.
Okay. You know, when I saw your deck before coming to meet you, I see a deck which is like almost Media Agency 3.0 if the last time I met you was 1.0, and the 2.0 seems to have disappeared in between.
Right.
So how did you react to that?
I'm glad for it, because you know, we're at a point in time in not just this advertising industry, but in all industries, that things aren't changing, they've changed. Things are really being disrupted before our eyes. And so the notion of skipping 2.0 is actually quite appealing to me, because I look around the world where consumers are skipping 2.0 all over the place. Asia is an amazing example where mobile phone penetration is outpacing television and PC penetration growth rates by 5 to 6 times. Mobile has become the first screen with so many young segments in Asia. Even in India, it's become the first screen. So there's no point in talking about landlines or talking about desktops or talking about even television in an old context. You've got to figure out how to market on mobile in the generation in Asia today. That's a great example of going from 1.0 to 3.0. So if Starcom Mediavest Group has done a decent job, and our work is really never done, but if we've done a decent job of identifying the strategic trends that are driving this industry, mobile first, the collapse of commerce and media channels, the blending of the virtual world and the physical world, so retailing by walking into a store and retailing by pushing a button. If we've identified some of these trends and we've built capability and resources around these trends to offer our clients better advantage in the future, then I'm pleased, then I'm happy. But our work is not going to be done anytime soon. We are in a disrupted industry where consumers are ahead of us. They're enabled by technology and devices to do what they want, when they want it, how they want it. And so the job of brand building and marketing is so hard today. And if we can help play a little bit of a role with our clients in helping them grow their business through moving to that 3.0, as you say, then I'll be happy.
Yeah. Before we met for this interview, you spoke about how you're changing your talent pool here, getting digital natives as opposed to digital immigrants and so on. Now you're doing it, the consumers are ahead. Are the clients getting it? Are they spending enough time understanding what is happening? Do they get it, or are they full of digital immigrants there?
It's a great question. I think generally most marketers are having a crisis of capability inside their walls. Marketing in the digital age is very different than marketing in the traditional age. Brand building using digital channels is very different. And a lot of our largest clients realize that they need to build this capability and they need an influx of natives, if you will, to help them do it. And they are doing it, and they're relying on companies like mine to do it and help them with it as well. At the same time, what I've seen is a real pivot by some of our largest global clients and the CMOs at these clients, a real pivot to spending much more time on media. 5 years ago, it might have been the cool thing to do to go out and spend 3 or 4 days in Silicon Valley, visit Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Twitter, and then say, okay, got it, I see the future. Now, hey guys, turn it over to you, just make it happen. Now what I'm seeing global CMOs do is not just make those visits, but spend 2, 3, 4 days a quarter with us, their media agency, really starting to answer a lot of the big issues of the day. How do we have a data strategy? What should our ad tech strategy be? How are we going to drive insights around digital brand building? How do we think about media and commerce and omni-channel? How do we think about disruption with over-the-top, like Netflix? How do we think about time shifting and the value of programmatic and what programmatic should be doing for you? So these are all big topics that most of our largest clients are leaning way into, and they're spending much more time on the day-to-day application of them and capability building around them as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and hope to see you in the next 12 months.
Thank you. You will, definitely.
Thank you.